Most people in their 50s do not have a savings problem. They have a structural problem. They have been contributing to their 401ks, paying off their mortgage, maybe even helping their kids with college. From the outside, things look pretty stable, but internally, there's usually no clear map for what comes next. And that's where the anxiety starts, because the closer retirement gets, the less it feels like a number and the more it feels like a blur. In your 50s, it's no longer about how much you can save. It's about whether you have built a system that can turn savings into cash flow, resilience, and freedom. That system comes down to five structural decisions. Let's break them down, not in theory, but in the real world trade offs you will actually face. First, income. What lifestyle are you solving for? Most people approach retirement planning backwards. They ask, how much do I need to save? But never clarify what they are solving for. Here's the better question. What does a good life cost me after taxes every single month? If you can't define your post-tax income target, your portfolio has no clear job. And no, the answer isn't $1 million. That's an abstract placeholder. You need a monthly cash flow number, for example, 6,000 or 10,000 for how many years, for one person or two. Without clarity here, everything else is guesswork. Number two, timeline. When are you really retiring? And what if you don't get to choose? Most people write retire at 65 on their calendar, but forget that retirement isn't always a choice. Layoffs, corporate restructuring, burnout, health issues, these don't wait for your financial plan to be ready. You need an early exit scenario, a plan that works even if retirement shows up at 60 or 58 instead of 67. That doesn't mean you will retire early, but it means if you have to, you won't panic. This is where bridge strategies, cash buckets, and pre-social security plans come in. We'll talk more about them later in this series. Third, sources, which asset funds, which phase of life. You probably have multiple accounts, a traditional 401k, maybe Roth IRA, maybe brokerage or rental income. But most of the people haven't mapped out which one funds age 60 to 67, which one kicks in after 70, and which one triggers required minimum distributions, and what's exposed to market risk and what's not. In retirement, sequence matters. Withdraw from the wrong bucket at the wrong time, and you increase your taxes, reduce your compounding, and introduce unnecessary risk. Structure beats guesswork, and your drawdown plan is the part no one teaches you in your 401k orientation. Number four, risk. Can your system survive volatility, inflation, and a health shock? Let's be blunt. You don't need to hit 10% returns every year, but you do need your income to keep showing up, even when markets don't cooperate. You also need protection against inflation slowly eroding your purchasing power, one spouse getting seriously ill or needing long-term care, a decade of low returns right after you retire. Retirement is not about maximizing gains, it's about minimizing regret. The real risk isn't losing money, it's running out of options. That's why we talk about things like annuities, hybrid structures, or cash buffers. Not to be fancy, but to make your income stream resilient. Number five, longevity. Will your money outlive you or the other way around it? It sounds like a blessing. I want to live a long life, but longevity is a financial risk. It means you need your assets to last 25 to 35 years, not 10 to 15 years. And if you're married, it's not just your timeline, it's your spouse's too. Most people underestimate how long they will live. Worse, they don't plan for what happens when one spouse passes away. Will income drop? Will taxes go up, filing as single? Will the surviving spouse know how to manage the accounts? A good plan isn't just a build for two healthy people in their 60s. It's a build for the full arc of retirement with all its changes, risks, and transitions. So, what's the point of this 50s series? It's not to scare you, it's not to sell a product, it is to give you the map because most of people enter retirement with a pile of financial tools, but no clear design. This series is about building that design one layer at a time, how to define your income target, how to allocate your sources, how to protect your plan from shocks, how to sequence everything from taxes in mind. If you're in your 50s, this is your last clean window to restructure before things lock in. You don't have to guess. You can actually plan with clarity logic and rhythm. Let's build that structure step by step.